It is June, which means that it's time for Techo Kaigi. It's time for us to check in on see how we're doing with our planners, see how these systems are really working for us, and if we need to make adjustments, what is that? So I'm going to be walking you through my planner lineup of what's happening, what's changing, what is boring, what is absolutely not working for me. And if you wanted to see all of that unfold in real time, then you have come to the right place. So let's just get started. If we've never met, hello, my name is Meshi, and I'm pretty sure we've met, but in case we haven't, I'm the person behind the line plans, and we chat about planners and stationery and journaling and all the things, but we really are intentional about it so that they're not just collecting dust, but they're actually helping us achieve our goals. So if that sounds good to you, then make sure that you subscribe to the channel. So here's the thing, some of these things that I have right now, I'm only going to be talking about planners. I really don't want to drag this out into pulling in all my journals. So today is planner edition only, just because I wanted to kind of talk about what's working. So here's the lineup currently. I have my Hobonichi Weeks. I have my little passport size traveler's notebook, which is patinaing really nicely. I also have the VDS rings planner, the minimalist ring band planner in personal size. And then I have, as one of my main planners, I have the traveler's notebook in regular size. So we're gonna go through all of them and kind of figure out what's working, what's not working. I have my little notebook here. So this is just a smaller Moleskine notebook. And I really wanted to kind of just dive in on what I would like to make changes to and what has been really working in the past 6 months, because there's a lot that is going really well actually. So let's just get started. Let's start talking about the Hobonichi Weeks first. I don't know, for some reason I'm really starting to understand why this planner has such a chokehold on me. It's starting to make sense to me right now. I love the fact that it's in one little booklet. I love that it's so thin. This is not the Mega by, just so you know. This is just a regular size one. So I thought that this would be like a nice little on-the-go planner. There's no journaling that's happening here. I literally just use the back as kind of like just keeping track of notes. And I wasn't really using this at the very, very beginning. I also set up like the dots, like the different color codes. I'm not using these. So I'm gonna be honest with you on there. Was I using it ever? I don't even know. I think I just set it up and then I totally forgot about it. And then anyway. But I am using it pretty religiously, so it has been pretty consistent. I use it quite a bit in February for like just daily planning and journaling. Not so much journaling, I keep saying journaling. For daily planning, it's like in bullet point system, in like a bullet journal style. Yeah, not once have I used the dots. Isn't that funny? Moving into, I did take a bit of a break for a while. So if you look at the gap between, did I take a break? Not that big of a break. So like April 13th, and then we jumped to beginning of May. So I did use it quite consistently in May, and then I don't know why we took this whole page off, but anyway. And then now here we are in June. So it was pretty consistent. I did take the week off, obviously, for while I was away. And it's just literally anything and everything that kind of comes to my mind. It was almost as if this was kind of like a little like field notes notebook, but I kind of prefer the paper quality and the way that I can kind of write in here just a tiny, tiny bit more. Not to say that the field notes does not fulfill a space in my heart. But so one thing that I'm not really utilizing to its full potential, just because I think I'm not fully clear on what its main function is, but I guess it's like an on-the-go main planner. You know what I mean? Like I kind of like to think of this as this guy's little sister. Except if that's true, then that brings me to my next challenge with the passport. But we'll talk about the passport after. But so I guess like I'm putting some personal information in here, and usually I just kind of write in anything and everything. Like my full like brain dump kind of comes here. And then that kind of leaves me with like, okay, so then what are we putting into the monthly? So I'm not really utilizing the monthly, and I'm not sure how to kind of change that. So I think I'm gonna have to kind of figure that out at least a little bit. on, sometimes I just use this for like social media planning, but I actually stopped doing that just because I have like a whole like notebook set up for that purpose, and I don't need to cram all of that information in here. So I guess like it can be like more like day-to-day planning, and I can utilize this like I would with any other monthly planner. But I think I get caught up in the idea of like, okay, what is your function? Now on the weekly is going really well. I moved in at the very beginning of January. So the weekly is going really well. I'm keep using this inner column as like the word of the week. And then I usually have 3 separate sections and I add a little bit of decor. I still like this. Will I continue this like word of the week? I'm not sure. I might actually experiment a little bit with weekly layouts because I find that I'm pretty consistent with how this looks and it is working for me. I did start using trackers around March. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't. But then sometimes I have like a week like this when there's just so much going on that I just don't fill it out. You know what I mean? Like this feels really empty to me in a really big way. And then we're moving here to where we are today. So now this is in April. I do love the sticky notes. This is definitely working for me when I'm just like adding sticky notes in here. I also really have enjoyed using this pen. This is the Pentel Energel in 0.5. It's a needlepoint pen. I've talked about this pen extensively. I'm going to be sad when this runs out of ink, and I'm just going to keep buying cartridges. And then the other pen that I really love is the Pilot Kakuno. So I definitely love these little sticky notes, and I think I'm going to continue to use them. I wanted to show you guys, like, I think, again, we've talked about this. They are from Deli. I have like the little tabs version of them. And then I have like a few different variations that they make. To be fair, like I like all of them and they're really good quality sticky notes. So, you know, I see myself, I think this one has 2 different ones. So they have the panda and then they have 2 different types of panda. This one just has the one. So I see myself continuing to use this. I like adding like a little element of fun here without, like, I don't like making it super serious. And then the other thing is that whenever I'm adding color, I also have to be mindful of the fact that color kind of shows up differently here. Like this looks super muted for me versus like the Tombow's kind of like a nice and bright and beautiful. And I still love using fountain pens here. So I love the mix of using something like the Kaweiko or the Pilot Kakuno that are like relatively thin, and then using something like this, the Pentel Energel. So that's where I'm at with like pens. And then sometimes I totally forget to add the word of the week here, but that's okay. And then that brings us to June, this was actually last week while I was away. So obviously there was not a whole lot that really happened here. And then now we're in the current week. And right now I'm literally just rocking a pen, and I haven't really filled this section out just because I'm more just, honestly, like if you've been away on vacation, I don't know if you know, but I'm finding myself just trying to, like, it's taking me a few days to kind of recalibrate to where my energy is, where it's supposed to be. So anyway, so this is where we're at with the Hobonichi Weeks. A lot of it is working for me. The only thing that I would love to try, and I think this is kind of why I didn't fill this out yet, to see if we can arrange this a little bit more functionally. You know, add like a little bit of decor and then make it just a tiny bit more functional, because I'm pretty sure that I can add more categories than this. I know I can because I've seen examples of this. So I'm going to experiment with this. And then I want to get a little bit more clear on the function, but really like I'm using this almost as my main planner that's usually on the go, where I can add a little bit more detail than what I can add into the Traveler's Notebook. Let's talk about the Traveler's Notebook next, actually. So this guy is super cute. There's a lot, I mean, this has, I mean, okay, you would probably notice, and it sounds so obvious because it says it right in the name, but I traveled with this and it was like the most useful thing. I didn't even take this, which now in retrospect, I'm like, I should have taken this, but I didn't. I just took this. This was the only thing that I really took with me while I was traveling. And sometimes it was a little too small for what I wanted. Like in retrospect, I did miss the bigger one, But then in other ways, like, can I tell you like how many times I put like the key card here? Super useful. Can I tell you how many times I was using all of these stickers that are from, you know, the sticker release paper? All the time. I'm so glad you asked. And then I also managed like everybody, round of applause everybody. I finished the one little booklet, that little Muji insert that I had, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but to me it was a big deal. So since we're in a mid-year like reset slash reflection, kudos to me for finishing that during a vacation. So now we are finally back in with the Yamamoto papers insert. Oh, I'm so happy here. I'm so happy. I love the cover. I already added my categories. I don't even care. It just, and then now I'm actually using the dots properly. So kudos to me. And then I'm happy that we're going to be switching this out. I really, honestly, like, no complaints. I really, really, really love this weekly insert. Once again, we're back to like the whole perpetual calendar conversation. I don't know what to use this for. I don't have a function for this. And I'm not sure if I will. I don't know. I'm so lost with this because I don't want to use this for finances. It's too small. I don't want to mark birthdays because I already have them marked in another planner. And then, so I can mark like events and like, I don't know. I have to sit on this because I know like a lot of you are using it for like step tracker or, you know, marking your periods or like just tracking something. There has to be a fun way where I can utilize this, or maybe like we can do like a word of the week. I don't know. I have to kind of sit on it and think about it. And I also have to fill out the current week. So we're on this week and it's fine. I really loved figuring this out, and then I just kind of didn't finish off the week because we were actually traveling on Saturday, and then Sunday was just a complete write-off. So I will have to kind of go back and update that. But it was like, it was almost like when I took this with me, it felt like I wish I had more space to write and be creative. Do you know what I mean? Like I had those moments a bunch of times during the day where I'm like, I wish I could sit here and I wish I could write more, set up more. Like I wish for a little bit more space. So while I love traveling with this is something that I can just kind of throw into my bag. But next time, especially if I'm gone for like a week or longer, I'm definitely taking the full size one because I really, really, really longed for this. I really longed for, actually, for this insert, for this to just here or for this. I don't know what happened here, but anyway. But I really longed for like this nice long format. Go and write your thoughts, your emotions, the things that came up. Because like the thing is that like there were things that came up, and hence that's the reason why I was able to kind of finish this off. So that's the reason why the insert was actually finished up, because I was able to kind of write about it. I noticed that while I was away, I was constantly, like I really limited myself of how I'm using this insert. Because right now in retrospect, like, could I use this as like a daily bullet journal? 100% I could. So, but I like journaling here. But then sometimes I wish that there was like a little bit more space. So, but because of that, I didn't realize that I'm like, oh my gosh, like I haven't actually given myself like a full-blown outlet to write about heavier things, to write about things that I actually wanted space to process. And for that, I don't think that this is the ideal space for it. So to me, that becomes a little bit too small. It's cool. Like I see myself using this little insert more like a commonplace book, or like things that I want to be reminded of, something that I'm not going to be putting into the weekly because there's just very limited space. My weekly is currently being used, like, I mean, I love everything here, but I will say, because I'm trying to keep this more fun and functional, I like the hybrid of planning and like a little bit of daily journaling, but it's still small. Like size-wise, this is not where, you know, like I like that it's a quick little check-in, but I know that this style of journaling / planning, it needs to happen here, which brings me to my next point of what's happening with the Traveler's Notebook. I know I need to update this. I have stickers in here that I'm probably not going to use, or I'm not utilizing as much, or like these are like samples and whatever. It's like it's fine, but like I don't want this to be like, I would love to actually replace this whole thing with something like what I have here, which is like a leather wallet. I would love something like this, but they make this out of canvas. And I will show you a picture because I don't even know like the official name, but I've seen that insert for so many Traveler's Notebooks, and I really loved it. And I would love to save up the money for it and actually invest in it and buy it. And every time that I checked Baumkuen's website, then they were constantly sold out. I think that it's Superior Labor that makes it. As soon as they get it back in stock, I will be purchasing it because I've been wanting this. Like I would like to get rid of this. I definitely don't use like this thing. I don't know. I don't have a function for it. Like it's fine, but it's not, I don't know. I'm just not sold on it. You know what I mean? Like it functions for what I need it for, but it's not my absolute favorite. So that's where I'm at with it. First insert. So this one is from Traveler's Notebook. It's just a normal dot grid insert. And I have a love-hate relationship with it. I think the outside looks really cute. It's more for like daily journaling, like exactly what I'm actually missing from the from the passport size. But then I'm not utilizing it as often. I don't sit and take time for it. I started to, like in January, like this looks great. Like I love everything here. And then, you know, I set some wellness goals. I did like short little, I thought that maybe I can use this as like a daily planning. Nope, we're not gonna do that. And then I also use this for just swatching some inks, which is really cool. But then now we jump from February to like May. And then now here we are, like now we're in June. So I really want to use this more for long format journaling. And then kind of figure out if that's what I want to use for journaling or if I want to use this guy for journaling. So the dot grid. So the difference is that this is not, it's just normal paper. It's not Tombow River paper versus this one from Baumkuen. Their grid paper is Tombow River paper. So I'm finding that here I am journaling. So it's sort of like, okay, who is this girl? Like, what are you doing? You're confusing me. And it's like, if you're confused, I'm confused. But I think that what it comes down to is I like long format writing. And I couldn't figure out if with these extra notebooks, if I want to use these for journaling or if I wanted to use them for planning. I think that's where the confusion starts from. So because of that, I kind of hate checking in with both of these booklets because of that. But I think I was trying to shift this to like daily journaling. I think I'm going to have a solution. As I'm talking to you about this, I think I have a solution because I love this. I love long format journaling here. The paper is so soft. It's easy. It's not grippy. And the fact that it's a cream colored paper, I think that in and of itself, I'm already sold on it. Versus, I don't even know why you zoomed in so much. Versus what I have here. I don't know why. It's just, I think this is better for, I don't even know. Like, you can use this multitude of ways, but either it's going to be either that I just retire this booklet and just cut my losses. I would really, really love to try the notebook where it's like dated at the top and then you get like a whole page and you can do daily planning, because that would be really cool, because that would actually replace the need for me to constantly use the Hobonichi Weeks. You know, because this gives me a tiny bit more space than that, and it just visually, like, it becomes easier. Like, here you go, here's your daily, here's your weekly, you have like a full booklet for it. Have fun. So I think that's sort of where I'm struggling, that this is not functioning the way that I want it to function, because it's not the right color, and it's not, I don't know, it just is not fun for me to use, honestly. Weekly, on the other hand, this again is such a superstar. I love her. She is just so much fun. And I love the space. I love how many categories. I mean, almost like every time that I sit down to update this, as I'm reminiscing here, every time I use it is just so much fun because like the amount of decor that I can add without actually overwhelming it. I think that was like one of my struggles with Hobonichi Weeks, was that it's beautiful and it's fun, but it's a little small for what I would like to do. And here, if I want to add like extra little like details about my day, I totally can. I can do weekly reflections and I don't feel constricted. Like, you know how good that feels to just not feel like, oh my God, you only have about this much space for it. And then it gets annoying and cluttered. And I like that like my categories, like all my information, like the monthly calendars are up here. Have fun. And then, but here, like I can add like larger stickers and it's just, I don't know, like there's just something really special about this. So usually my categories are pretty consistent. I don't do any tracking in this. I really don't feel like I need to. I don't want to. It doesn't inspire me to do it. So moving into, but I mean, oh, love this. Here, like see, ironically here I'm using the dot stickers, so go figure. Sometimes I do miss a week, which is, you know, I'm human. And then, oh, this makes me so happy. This day, I think this took me maybe like 15 to 20 minutes. It wasn't like this big elongated like session. But again, the same methodology works on here too, where I use this pen and I use one of the fountain pens. So fountain pens is for like main detail, and then this is for like little extra detailed journaling, where I just kind of add like little commentary about the day. So fun, right? So here is... Did I fill out the week that I think, so this was the week that I was away, so I didn't actually do anything, and this is the week that we're on, so I'm gonna have to obviously set this up. But I'm like such a fan of this. It's so fun, and it actually organizes areas of my life, so I would write this off as like a massive win. This particular insert, I think that once I kind of swap a couple of things out, it will be totally fine. And I actually see myself bringing this with me versus bringing like 2 other little planners whenever I'm on the go, because this actually holds a lot more information and it's just a lot more functional. So that's it about this. And the irony is I have the patch. I think I put it in my little purse. But now I just have to find the glue. So I have the little patch here that came off, and I would like to put that back because that looks really cute. But to be really fair, you know what would be nice? As much as I like this cover, I would like to try a different cover if I could. So I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe changing the cover. Let me know in the comments if you agree or not. Please agree with me. Let's just make it happen. Potentially, I'm maybe thinking of like an olive green. That would be kind of cool. Or the blue. That would be kind of cool too. Although I do really love this dark brown. I think that looks really pretty. But I want to put this back here because she belongs on this one and nowhere else. But maybe I would probably take this off. I don't know. I have to play around with this. This is too much pressure for me to make these decisions. Okay, let's talk about Ring's planner. So Rings, she needs a lot of DIY. She needs a lot of changes. The way that I thought that when I was entering into the year, I wasn't even gonna touch this. I wasn't gonna do anything with it. But then here we are having this conversation. So basically right now I have like a whole bunch of like gift cards and whatever here, which we can remove for the time being. I think the big thing with this planner is that I really, really love the cover, and I will find any and every excuse to kind of make it work so that I can actually utilize this. We do have a grocery list here, so some of these inserts absolutely need to go. I do struggle with like, I don't know if you struggle with meal planning. I struggle with meal planning and staying consistent with it and having like the right inserts and the right tools. Well, shout out to Infinite Lotus. They were really helpful with a lot of their inserts, but right now I kind of want to shift this a little bit to be more finance related, and then also adding in information about my week. So that's how I have been using it in the last little bit, and that's how I'm going to continue on using it. I do like the weeklies, and I mentioned this a bunch of times. I think I'm going to update this later. But this is sort of like a really good example of what I would consider to be a pretty good weekly, where I have like some tracking happening. I have the priorities figured out. I added this extra task list, which became my packing list. And then I used like the these dot markers. Where are you? So I've been really trying to like make these work for like color coding things, and like it's fine. I have so many of like these highlighters that if I find a function for it and it's actually making my life easier, I will continue to use it. So here's this current week, but then I would like to actually add in the color coding and all of that fun stuff, which I haven't had a chance to do yet, but totally fine. So I also have like a couple of inserts. This one is travel wish list. I also have the traveling inserts. I don't know why I put that in. It just made sense at the time. I wanted to just kind of test it out. I definitely see this getting it removed. This is also from Infinite Lotus, really lovely. I still have the cleaning routine, which I thought is really fun. I like that it breaks it down daily, weekly, and like quarterly. So there is a couple of, here we go. So here's like the annual chores, the semi-annual, the quarterly. I love this for me because I know that there's going to be certain things that I will 100% forget, like when we have to change the filter for the furnace. When do we have to drain off the snowblower? You know, just regular life stuff. And then you can 100% remove that. And then we have another little insert. So this one is also from Infinite Lotus. And then we have like the water situation, some tasks. And then here I do have some inserts for finance. I would like to kind of look through more of my stash of what else I have for financial planning and then add it in here. And then whatever is missing, then I can just print it from a printable and then add it in. So far, this is the actual finance one. This is a monthly overview with some notes, shopping list. And then you can write down your income, bills, any subscription, and then the weekly expenses. So I haven't tested this out. I will test it out and keep you guys posted on how this is going. This is from Cloth and Paper. This was actually in one of the last sub boxes that I ordered from them. And then it gives you some notes. So we shall see if they are useful or just nuisance. This I would like to switch out pretty much immediately just because I'm just kind of tired of it. Now, these are the other financial inserts. These are from Noted, and I might actually go back to Notice to see if she has like a new one. I love that like I can break down the income. Obviously, this is not relevant anymore, but it gives you spots for savings, fixed expenses, variable expenses, and then you total it all up. And then in the back is nothing because I printed it wrong, but then you get like this full list of expenses, like of basically it's not just expenses. Like I used to just write down everything and I would use like my colored markers and I would color code them of which account they're supposed to be going into or what's happening with that. And the only other thing that I would like to add when it comes to the finance bundle is anything investment related and savings goals and savings challenges and things like that. So that would be like maybe potentially one of my second categories that I would like to add in here, where it's like a full category just fully related to like any investments, any savings, like anything I'm allocating for kids. You get the point. I have this. I just left it there in case I would like to use it. It just kind of makes sense, but you know, we'll see if I use it or not. Then I have like just a clear tab with some stickies. I still really like these stickies. I really love like the muted colors. So they're really great to just like jump off the page. So I will just keep that the way it is. I want to switch this. I'm finished with both of them. I'm finished with all of these. So I'm just taking them out as I go just so that I don't have to do it later. But ugh, I hate it when they make it complicated. Why are you so hard to remove? There we go. It is removed. More weeklies. And then I also want to remove this. This always just reminds me of like a massage table. So I'm just like, I'm over you. It's just luxury that lasts. Like, okay. Even though I know it's a chair, but still. You know when you like look at something and then that's not how your brain registers of what that is? That's how I feel about that. And then a few dailies. Again, these are from Infinite Lotus, just whatever was left over from the sub box. And then we have like a little folder. I'm probably going to switch all of this out. Never use this. And then there you go. And that's basically it with this one. I also have like a few pages of just numbers, which I tend to use often. So that's what I mean. Like there's a lot that I have. There's a lot of accessories and things like that I have, like these little stickers that I would love to really use up. I have enough decor and journaling cards where I can refresh it and make it feel new again, where it doesn't feel so stuffy like this. So I'm probably going to do that, all of that off camera, so then we're not like sitting here for like an hour. If you guys would like to see that on camera when we're doing a full like planner reset, please let me know in the comment section. I would love to film that for you, obviously. But yeah, like there's a lot that's working here, but it does need a little bit of like fine tuning and adjusting. I think that I'm well on my way though, with like at least having a lot of like the functional inserts here. I will probably end up getting at least a couple of like, I would like to get like at least a monthly, and I would like to get like more like investment related inserts that are more financial related. So I probably just buy that as like a downloadable, and then I'll just keep updating it as I go. So a lot that is working here. I don't want to mess with this. I like that it's in a binder. If I get gift cards, I usually just stack them in here. But I mean, like legit, like if you look at like how many of like these stickers I have, obviously I need to have like an outlet where I can just utilize them. It makes me happy when I'm using the things that I have. I don't know if you feel that way, but I definitely feel that way. This is basically it. I'm so proud of myself. Like look at us, we made it through and we're not at 30 minutes. Okay, I would love to hear from you guys. Like first of all, just share in the comments, how is your planner? How is your mid-year system lineup? Are you ditching any of your planners? Are you changing its function? What's happening with it? Let me know in the comments. I would obviously love to hear from you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe, do all the things. And obviously, just keep planning, keep journaling, keep doing all the things. And I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye.